Hi, I'm Kiara. I am a youth counselor at the PMFRC.
And I'm Amanda, and I'm a mental health worker at the PMFRC.
So this is our emotional toolkit, and what it does is it goes through healthy ways to manage and understand your emotions. So we received a grant from True Patriot Love in order to put this together, and we ran a couple of workshops earlier in the year. And now we are doing this online because given the times and the stress that people might be feeling being stuck in the house, we thought it would be helpful to have some techniques to manage those emotions.
So for our first slide in our toolkit is just kind of, do you ever feel overwhelmed, sad, disappointed, anxious, confused, frustrated, worried, or angry? These are just some various emotions that some people might be experiencing right now during this current time.
So the goal of this workshop is to help you understand your emotions better and learn to manage them in a healthy way.
What are some emotions that you're experiencing? Kira, what about you? What are you experiencing right now?
I would say that there's some confusion because you get a lot of mixed information online as to what you can and can't do and what is okay, what isn't okay, and what's happening. I would say some uncertainty, feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but then also, grateful that I am able to work from home and that the weather is becoming nicer to enjoy taking a walk outside and just getting a little bit of fresh air.
Great, thanks for sharing.
So Amanda, what does it feel like when you start to get overwhelmed?
Oh, this one's kind of hard. It's kind of difficult to put it into words sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I think one of the best ones though is I sometimes feel like a heaviness on my brick, or pardon me, a brick on my chest. And sometimes I might get a headache, or sometimes I might feel really hot. So it really depends on the situation and kind of what's going on, because sometimes I might also feel like really sad and just wanting to go be by myself in my room. So it really varies.
Awesome, thanks for sharing that.
So here is a chart that we use to help understand where your level is. Starting at level 1, when you might feel happy or calm, to level 5, when you may feel extremely overwhelmed. This chart allows you to reflect on how you act at each level, what you are feeling, and what you can do at each of those levels. So you can break it down at level 1, how do I act, how do I feel, and what things you can do. So this is a really great technique and tool to utilize, especially as you get higher in the levels, to help you kind of address where you're acting, how to feel, and just to break it down a little bit. So what are some strategies you could do to bring yourself back to level 4, 3, 2, and hopefully back to 1.
So this is our rage gauge. So sometimes it can be difficult to put into words how or what we are feeling. Sometimes we just can't really even name those emotions. So the rage gauge is a way to show others how you're feeling without using your words. So a cool idea would be, if your parents let you, you can put this on the outside of your door, and it's a good way to show people, is it a good time to come in, or yes, I need to go check in on them because they're feeling sad, or no, they're feeling angry, so I'm going to leave them alone because I know that's what they want. So it's just a good way, a good visual for others to know how you're feeling and for you to see how you're feeling as well.
And one of the things too, Kira, we're providing both of these, the rage gauge as well as the level sheet, as extra handouts for this workshop. Are we not at the end?
Yes, so they're going to be included. So you will be able to download them and print them. If you don't have access to a printer, they're pretty easy to just draw on your own. So you'll be able to see them and draw them on your own and use them that way as well. So don't worry if you don't have a printer.
Fantastic, great. So what are some things that push your buttons or make you upset? Are there any specific triggers or warning signs that set you off? Kira, do you want to answer those?
Yeah, I would say I can't necessarily think of any specific triggers or necessarily that set me off. I think it just kind of depends on the day and my mood and what's going on. But definitely warning signs. that I am being set off would be me getting like shorter with people, kind of snapping at them. Another one could be when I'm quieter, because I usually tend to be pretty chatty. So if I'm quiet and kind of keeping to myself, that might mean that I'm feeling a little bit off. So definitely ways for me to know that I'm not feeling like myself, but I can't think of anything specific that sets me off.
Okay, thanks. One of the tools that we suggested in the toolkit and that you can easily do at home is a worry box. So writing down your emotions or thoughts can help to get the feelings out of your head and onto the page. Sometimes it can be hard to write your thoughts down on the page, so it might be easier to draw them. When you are done writing or drawing, you can put the page away in your worry box. Your worry box is something you can keep it to yourself or share with your family and friends if you want them to know how you are feeling. So the same idea with the worry box, you can also utilize a journal. So this is really not just age specific to ages 5 to 12. Adults, family, anybody can kind of suggest this kind of worry box in some sort of way. Again, finding something that's suitable to you.
So this is Thoughts on Trial. This will also be a handout that you can print out. So how this is used is sometimes we can take our thoughts as being facts. So we think something and then we believe it's true. And this happens to a lot of people. So this is a good way for you to break down your thought and actually take a look at why you believe it. So for instance, if my thought is, Amanda doesn't like me, the evidence for my thought is that I messaged her and she didn't message me back. The evidence against that thought could be, well, one, she's working from home, so she could be with a client, she could be busy. Two, she has 3 kids, so they require her attention as well. And 3, she has a life outside of her phone and not that tech savvy. So that could just be any of those 4 things. So when I look at that, I have only one piece of evidence for my thought and 4 things that are against my thought. So the verdict I would probably say for that is she's likely just busy. She'll answer me. If there is more evidence for my thought, maybe we got in a fight, we had a disagreement, that's okay too.
That's great. So let's think about it. What is the worst case scenario? What is the best case scenario? And what is the likely scenario? If the worst case scenario happens, what will it matter in 1 week, 1 month, or even 1 year? So I love Kira's suggestion, say that the thought was that I was upset at her. What would it matter in 1 week? What's the best case scenario? Potentially is Amanda too busy right now at this current time because she has 3 kids or she's working from home? And what is the likely scenario? Amanda cares about me. She just might not be getting back to that text message. Again, what would it matter in 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year? Slowing that thought process down can really help you to slow that feeling and emotion of being angry and upset and help you to really think about it in a clearer mindset.
So mindfulness. Mindfulness helps ground us. It brings us from 911 down to a more relaxed state of mind. It can help bring us from a level 4 to 5 to a 1 to 2, or even just a healthier level 3. So some books that we've found can be helpful with mindfulness are The Little Book of Mindfulness, I Am Peace, and I Am Yoga. So those are books that you can find on Amazon or chapters, and you can look those up.
That's great. So some strategies and coping tools also that we thought were useful and you could put inside your emotional toolkit are a fidget toy, which can help distract or calm you. It can be really discreet, and it can be an actual fidget toy itself or a fidget ring. We've also suggested a stress ball, which can also, again, help distract or calm, but you can also squeeze it out when you're feeling really frustrated. Coloring book is also a helpful strategy and tool to utilize to help you distract yourself and calm yourself down. And it can also provide time to ease and soothe your mind. And it actually promotes creativity, which is also a great tool just to kind of distract yourself and give you something else to think about.
So creating a safe zone. So right now, obviously school is out. So this isn't going to be applicable right now, but once you are back at school, you can create a safe zone there too. So you can create this by taking a look at and saying to yourself, what does your safe zone look like? You know, maybe it's your room, maybe it's just out somewhere outside, maybe it's on your couch, a specific chair. Do you want to be alone or around others? That's really important, not only for you to know, but for other people to know as well. How do people know you're in your safe zone? So, you know, is it that usually when you're not in your safe zone, if you're in your room, your door's open, but when it's closed, that means you need some space? And what can other people do to help you? So do you want them to leave you alone? Want them to just sit with you? Do you want them to give you a hug and ask what's going on? So it just gives you a sense of what that looks like.
Great. I think that's a really cool one for at school and at home for kids to kind of, and even us as adults, to know that if we go to a separate room. I love this idea.
Yeah.
So your toolbox your way. There might be other things that help calm you when you feel overwhelmed. We have provided you with just a few items, but you might think of other techniques or strategies that you want to use. You can keep a list of these things if they aren't able to go in your toolbox, such as going for a walk, playing with your pet, listening to music. And if you can include them in your toolbox, feel free to add them. These are just some suggestions that we wanted to ensure that you had during this current time and later on again in life.
So if your emotions become too much and you'd like some help, never be afraid to ask for it. So that can be reaching out to friends, family, or team at the PMFRC. We have people that are here to help, including, you know, myself and Amanda. So you can contact our family advocacy coordinator, Chris Quigley, to access support. So we've listed her email and her phone number with her extension. So if you're feeling like you do need to talk to someone, please feel free to reach out and we would be happy to talk with you.
So that's the end of our presentation of our emotional toolkit. We want to thank everyone for listening, and we really hope that this helps you find a helpful way to support your emotions.
Yes, stay safe, everyone.
Bye.